Hey everyone.
You.
Sir, we need to release Spider-Man No Way Home trailer 2.
I missed the part where that's my problem. You should have thought of that earlier.
Because you're CEO, bitch.
I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye. This is something else.
Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on this video. My name is Chris. Sony went ahead and dropped a new trailer for their upcoming Morbius movie because they looked at their release calendar and said, oh, 1 month till No Way Home? 3 months till Morbius? Both of them need a second trailer. Oh, let's go with Morbius. Okay, but in Sony's defense, did you know the first trailer for Morbius was basically 2 years ago? In 2 months, it'll be the 2-year anniversary that Sony dropped their first trailer for Morbius. Can you imagine watching a trailer for a movie and then finding out you'll have to watch it 2 years later? Huh. What I'm going to do here for you guys is giving you my trailer breakdown for the second Morbius trailer, pointing out Easter eggs you might have missed, trying to put together and explain where Morbius fits in the timeline of things. Because we know Sony's just wanting to go full out with their Spider-Man universe, and they're trying to connect everything, even if it don't make sense. But also don't be forgetting to leave me your thoughts down below. Are you excited for Morbius? Or are you just excited for them Spider-Verse connections? Alright, so we're jumping into the first trailer for Morbius, mainly sticking to some of the newer footage they showed off here. I do want to say, spoilers and caution if you have not seen Venom Let There Be Carnage. If you've seen the Morbius trailer, you already know there's a little Venom reference here, so we're definitely going to be touching upon how this could connect to it, and that includes spoiling the ending and post-credit for Venom Let There Be Carnage, so I'm sorry for y'all who haven't seen it. Alright, so with this Morbius trailer, one of the huge things that stood out to me from the very beginning is, of course, the Oscorp Tower that, oh my god, can you believe this is officially the first look at Oscorp in the MCU? There are a lot of angles you could take to look at this, but that is technically the one I want to go with, since we know Sony and the MCU are kind of combining universes for a little bit. This is technically our first look at Oscorp. A couple of details we want to notice before we dive deeper into that, though, is this is the exact same logo that we got in the Amazing Spider-Man universe with Andrew Garfield. This is not the Oscorp logo that we saw in the Sam Raimi universe, and we obviously know this isn't the Oscorp Tower that we see in Tom Holland's universe, because we have yet to see that anywhere, and that is what makes this Morbius movie all that more confusing, because like I said, while we have this connected to the Amazing Spider-Man universe with that being the exact logo, if we look at shots later in the trailer, we see the Daily Bugle logo that is taken right out of the Sam Raimi universe. Because we know what the Daily Bugle looks like in the Tom Holland universe, and it does not look like that. We also know what the Daily Bugle looks like in the Amazing Spider-Man universe, and it does not look like that. So already you have two contradicting worlds colliding with each other right here in this trailer, and the other nail in the coffin that would sink in Tom Holland's universe is obviously the appearance of Michael Keaton as the Vulture, who appeared as the villain in Spider-Man Homecoming. These three separate things is kind of what connects all three of these different Spider-Man movies. The only conclusion we could draw to without having seen the movie right now is it looks like all three of those Spider universes might somehow collide into one, and that could have been what exactly was happening in the post-credit scene of Venom Let There Be Carnage, where, again, spoilers if you haven't seen Venom, by the post-credit scene, we see Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock in a dirty, run-down hotel room while he's watching TV, talking to Venom. Then out of nowhere, reality starts to glitch, and he appears in a much nicer hotel. It's daytime, and on TV, he sees Tom Holland's Spider-Man. All of us at the time assuming that, whoa, did Venom just get transported into the MCU like a lot of the villains are going to be in Spider-Man No Way Home? But now putting in this new information that we're getting from the Morbius trailer, it could be that maybe all three Spider-Man universes kind of merged into one, and that's what we're seeing going down here? That would be the only explanation I have for why everything is mismatched, and why some parts in the Morbius trailer we have things like Jared Leto Morbius walking by a mural that's clearly Sam Raimi's Tobey Maguire Spider-Man suit. I really hope Morbius goes ahead and gives us an explanation to what this all means, because right now, looking outside the box, it is just very confusing, and what I'm just afraid of is Sony was lazy to create new logos, so they just picked and choose what logos they liked from their previous Spider-Man movies and like, dump that one here, dump that one there. It's connected somehow. You deal with it, Spider Boys. Either way, it seemed very clear that Venom and Tom Holland's Spider-Man lived in their own separate universes before whatever happened to the multiverse merged them together. And with the way this Morbius trailer ended with Jared Leto stopping this criminal that is clearly printing money, if you pause certain shots of him grabbing the knife and putting the guy to the ground, you can see on the background there's a lot of $100 bills being copied and pasted, so it looks like Jared Leto's character will be doing some crime fighting. Sony turning another villain into an anti-hero, so much so they even go ahead and make him say the famous Venom line.
I am Venom. I'm just kidding, it's Dr. Michael Morbius at your service.
Turning it into a gag, but that should let us know as an audience that Venom is out there and the public seems to know about it, so much so that he is going ahead and joking around that he's actually Venom. Like, one, from a marketing standpoint, this is very clever of Sony to do so that you know that they're connected universes, but I just can't help but to have all these questions in my mind being raised over and over. So is there actually an original Spider-Man that comes from the Venom and Morbius universe that is separate from Tom Holland's world? And who is their Spider-Man? Is it Tobey Maguire? Is it Andrew Garfield? There was even behind the scene photos that Spider-Man is missing in their universe because you have logos saying, "Where is Spider-Man?" Hearing all the rumors about Spider-Man No Way Home with the Spider People showing up there and the way Venom got transported into the MCU, I wonder if that's how Tobey or Andrew get transported over. And that's why he's missing in their universe. And heck, even talking about the Oscorp logo, who is their Norman Osborn? If this is the exact same Oscorp logo that we saw from Amazing Spider-Man, then well, Norman Osborn is technically dead in this universe. And is his son Harry, played by Dane DeHaan, the one in charge of Oscorp? Or are they just gonna give us a whole new Norman Osborn to follow? Like, I'm happy for everybody who actually genuinely likes the Morbius character and you've been excited like crazy to see him have his own movie or be part of the Spider-Man universe, but what they have done here is created a movie that has so many questions to it that I just want answered. We're not even talking about how the Vulture Michael Keaton is going to play into all this, because clearly in the trailer here, the Vulture here goes ahead and looks off to Morbius and says we should stay in touch, kind of implying a little buildup of the Sinister Six here, or at least a collaborative effort between them. Is it possible that maybe the way Venom went ahead and got teleported to the MCU, the Vulture character went ahead and got teleported into the Sony universe? And I know people will be asking already, is like, wait, Chris, why would Vulture even want to set up the Sinister Six with Morbius? Because he clearly liked Tom Holland's Spider-Man by the end of Homecoming and did not want to reveal his secret identity to Scorpion. That's another question we want answered, because where does Morbius fit in the timeline of Venom Let There Be Carnage and Spider-Man No Way Home? We know chronologically it's being released after Spider-Man No Way Home, but that was not originally the plan. Don't forget, Morbius and Venom Let There Be Carnage were supposed to be released before Spider-Man No Way Home, but then the pandemic and things like that went ahead and made it so that they pushed it after Spider-Man No Way Home. So we really don't know the timeline of where Morbius is set, if it's during, after, or before the events of Spider-Man No Way Home. And if we have Vulture having some sinister plans where he wants to build up his own version of the Sinister Six to go against Tom Holland's Spider-Man, then I would think Morbius takes place after Spider-Man No Way Home, because I strongly believe that movie will still end with the spell Doctor Strange cast on the world that everyone forgets Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and that would then again let Vulture go ahead and hate Spider-Man, because all he would remember is that masked webhead put him in jail, separated him from his family, reigniting the vendetta and revenge he would want on Spider-Man. The only reason Vulture kind of went good is because he knew Pablo, aka Peter Parker, was Spider-Man, and then decided to let bygones be bygones. It's just really wild to me. With everything they reveal about Morbius, I'm just more and more excited to figure out how this connects to the larger universe, and this time I'm actually even excited for the movie itself, because even if you put away all the little Spider-Man connections they were throwing in here, there was a lot of unique and different things being thrown into this Morbius movie that I found unexpected. Like, a lot of the shots of Jared Leto's character going into his vampire form look absolutely insane, and I'm loving the special effects attached to it. The way he's in slow motion attacking some of these people, dodging bullets, the echolocation of his powers, and even just the visual effects on his face alone look pretty rad. rad. Sony, while I'm still on the fence with this Sony universe, I'm actually really digging the unique take on the characters and the bit of a refreshing feel they're adding to now this spin-off MCU. Because even in this trailer, they go ahead and hint at other spin-offs they could possibly throw in here when, again, we're looking at that Daily Bugle newspaper and we see the headlines reading, one, a rhino was let loose on the town and that was a hoax. Not 100% sure if that is an actual reference to the rhino villain, since he's not an actual rhino that is kept in a zoo, but I'll throw it in there just for the heck of it. The real reference we want to look at is the Black Cat, friend or foe. That is a title that is sometimes thrown around in Spider-Man. It's kind of cool to know that Sony is really going to make a universe where Morbius, Venom, Black Cat, and now Kraven the Hunter, played by Aaron Taylor Johnson, all basically live in one separate universe that might merge with the MCU. But this is where I throw it off for you, the fans, to try and make sense of all this madness being thrown at us. My biggest fear is that it's just going to be appearing on the screen with no answers whatsoever to how or why it's happening, and I think that'll just make me so frustrated. Be sure to leave me your thoughts down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at 3cfilms or on TikTok at 3cfilms. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.